Hey guys, what's up? Tyler here with T-Game and Tech, and in this video I want to recap the Samsung Galaxy S4 event that just occurred on whatever today's date is, March the 14th, 2013, which is Pi Day, so happy Pi Day if you haven't celebrated already. Go out and have some pie. And so Samsung's event was definitely interesting, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But they announced the Galaxy S4, shared a lot of the specs and a lot of different features that are going to be on the phone, and I have a big list of them in front of me. They are really in any kind of order, but I'm just going to go down over the list and talk about each one maybe a little bit and whether or not I think it's a good addition. And so the Galaxy S4 is going to come with 3G, 4G, LTE, and global LTE. That's always good. We like our LTE speeds, even though we don't really get LTE around where I live. But whenever I go into the cities, it does help to have LTE speeds. It's going to be a 4.99-inch screen, which is basically 5. They advertise it as a 5-inch screen, a Super AMOLED 1080p, and 444 ppi, which is pixels per inch, which is really nice. So the screen is going to look really nice, really crisp. Hopefully it looks good in person as it did on the actual presentation. And it's going to have a 1.8 Exynos 5410 processor. Not really sure what all that means. I'm not going to claim to be a guru whenever it talks about phone processors, but that's what the processor is. It's going to have 2 gigabytes of RAM, and it's going to come with 16 gigabytes of onboard storage. You can upgrade that to 32 or 64, and you can also have a microSD card slot where you can put more storage in as well. It's going to come in 2 different colors at launch, Black Mist and White Frost. It has a polycarbonate casing, and so it's not just regular plastic like the Galaxy S3 was, and it's not aluminum or glass. It's made of this polycarbonate casing, which should be pretty tough and survive most everyday rough and tumble, just knocking it around. But it's not going to protect you from any 30-foot falls. But it's nice to see they put a little bit more thought into the casing, and that's going to protect your phone a little bit more. If we go down the list, it has a couple more sensors, such as infrared gesture sensors, humidity, and temperature sensors. And the battery is a 2600 milliamp battery. And that's all there really is. It comes with Android 4.2.2, which is Jelly Bean. And there's some updates to the camera as well. 13 megabytes. Megabytes aren't for cameras. 13 megapixel camera for the back camera, and a 2 megapixel front camera. I had that written down somewhere here, but I guess I don't see it. But yeah, that's the camera. If I get it wrong, I edit it in post, but I'm pretty sure it's right. But the cameras have a bunch of new technologies, such as dual camera mode, so you can be recording video with the back camera, and you can take a picture of yourself recording the video with the front camera at the same time, and that's kind of cool. There is an eraser tool, which is actually really neat, where you can take a picture, and if somebody walks in the background, you can hold it in and go take a bunch of different pictures, and then you can composite the shot, and you can erase things that are in the background. It'll take different shots, different areas from different shots, and combine them. That way you can kind of erase somebody who might photobomb your picture or walk in the middle of your picture that you're taking. And so that's really all there is with that. There's adaptive screen, which just kind of changes the way the screen looks from when you're watching a movie, you're playing a game, or reading text. Air gestures, that's kind of cool. You can gesture over the phone. You don't have to really touch the phone itself. In case you have something on your hands, or you really just don't want to touch the phone if you're reading something, or I don't really know. It's just a cool feature. And it also says the Galaxy S4 works with gloves, so that's actually really cool. Don't know how thick of gloves. The ones that they were using with were just these little thin gloves. But the fact that it even works with gloves is pretty cool. I doubt they're going to work with like huge winter gloves that are like this thick, but the fact that they put that in there, that's kind of neat. And that's really all there is in terms of the actual Galaxy S3 hardware. As software, they have a lot of S programs and S software that honestly I could care less about. I don't want all this S software on my phone. That is exactly why I don't even know where my phone's at. That's exactly why I switched to CyanogenMod. And now I know a lot of people are saying, well, no, we don't care. We do blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's true. A lot of people would just use the S software, just not care. But Google has already done it for you. There's already Google Now. There's already Google Voice Dictation. Why does Samsung feel like they need to go back and redo all this stuff that Google's already done and it's already in Android? Like, I just don't understand. And so what I think is that, and many others, we all think this, at least from the tweets that I read during the live show, whatever you want to call that thing, is that Samsung is kind of moving away from Android. It's still Android, but they are changing it more and more to be more TouchWizzy. And I honestly thought that maybe they'd go the other way and be like, here's stock Android. We didn't mess with it hardly at all. There's a couple things, blah, 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 blah. Here you go. But honestly, they've gone like extremely, like a lot further away, and made it kind of like their own. I don't like it. Honestly, I think they're doing too much work because they have this Samsung chat on that nobody uses. This way to back up all your stuff. Like all this already exists within Google. There's Google Drive. You back all your stuff up with your Google Docs, and like different accounts on Android 4.2.2, like on my Nexus 7 and now my Galaxy S3 with CyanogenMod. You can have different accounts, so you can have a work account and a home account. But like Samsung just feels like they need to redo all this, which they don't. And so that just really frustrates me, all the software. And so honestly, if I pick up the Galaxy S4, if I sell the Galaxy S3, pick up the Galaxy S4, I'll probably put CyanogenMod on it again. Because I just think Samsung's wasting their time. If they want to get their own mobile operating system, go ahead. But people like Android and people like stock Android, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. So I'm more willing to pick up the Nexus 4 than I am the Galaxy S4. That's my opinion. But that's kind of what's happening with the Galaxy S4 in terms of hardware and software. It's still running Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean, but it's all that junk over top of it and all that stuff that I wouldn't even use, since I already use all these other Google products. But I understand the casual consumer will probably use the S products, such as S Note, S Voice. They don't even know Google now exists. But I just think they're just doing more work than they need to because Google already has it already done. And so the event itself was just absolutely terrible. You know, the phone, hey, the phone looks awesome. The phone looks cool. I'd love to try it. But the show was terrible. Like, okay, it started off with this orchestra. I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool. You know, Samsung has an orchestra. They got an orchestra for the Rock Hall City, whatever the venue was called. Forgive me if that offends somebody that I don't know what it was called. I'm not artistic like that. I don't memorize the Rock Hall City of Fame, whatever the building. But they had their own orchestra. That that was cool. But the rest of it was just bad. The MCs tried to be funny and they weren't funny. It was awkward. They had these different scenes and shows to show different ways the Galaxy S3 works, but it was so distracting and bad that I kept thinking, this is so bad. I wasn't thinking about, wow, that's cool what the Galaxy S3 can do, or a Galaxy S4, but I was thinking, this is so bad and I don't want to watch it anymore. And, you know, they should have just made videos beforehand showcasing what it can do, play them, talk about the phone some more. But instead, they had these different skits, different actors, different actresses, and it was just bad. It was bad acting, too, and it was annoying. The crowd didn't enjoy it. I don't think nobody was laughing. You didn't hear, like, maybe a couple times somebody chuckled, but nobody was laughing. The clapping was enforced. I mean, they wouldn't clap unless somebody's like, oh, come on, let's give them a round of applause. And like 20 minutes later, they're clapping. But it was just so bad. At first, people were like, you know, oh, Samsung, this event's over the top. I was like, you know, it's not bad. You know, good for them doing it. If Apple did it, people would be praising them. But as we went on and on and on, and it got worse and worse and worse and more over the top, I'm like, man, this is bad. I didn't want to watch it anymore. And thank goodness it's over, because I was just like watching it and thinking, what in the world? I'm sure it'll be up somewhere you can watch it. I'll try to link it if it gets uploaded. But it's just bad. I don't know if I'd waste my time. Really, they only spent a little bit showing the phone and talking about the phone. The rest was just this play Broadway junk that was just bad. So that was the event. They talked about the Galaxy S3 a little bit. I just shared the specs with you. The software a little bit. I shared that with you as well. I don't like it. And they talked about some of the other stuff, and it was just really bad. The event, the show itself was really bad. My computer screen went off. I wondered what was flicking around in my background. But that's going to wrap this video up. If you guys watched the event video, what in the world did you think? I know a lot of people who watched it thought very lowly of it and didn't like it at all. And I'll jump on that ship right now. It was bad. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the Galaxy S4. Are you going to pick it up? Are you looking forward to it? What do you like and what don't you like about it? Also, leave this video a thumbs up. It helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're interested in more videos about tech and game related news, reviews, and unboxings, and the occasional giveaway, which the iPad mini giveaway is going on right now. You should check that out. And so check me out on all my social links and other channels. They're also in the description below. And so thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.